Hello and welcome to my Ascension Messages. My name is Bobbie Richardson and I will be your guide for today. Today we are going to use the Tarot and the Oracle to tap into this reset of the Age of Aquarius and see what messages come up. It's going to be kind of a tarot reading plus an actual energetic alignment reset to help you guys. So there could be channel messages that come through that actually help you ignite that part of your brain that's in resonance with the Age of Aquarius. So we'll go from there. Hey John, good to see you on the chat bar. And then after the main message and the general, we will open the chat bar for free chat bar readings when I'm ready. Yeah. So we're going to start off with just the tarot. But first of all, just before that, I did have a message yesterday when I tapped in and I was asking, because there's quite a bit of a discrepancy about the dates and all that sort of thing about the Age of Aquarius. And I tapped in and asked my guides, okay, so what are the ages of Aquarius dates? And the channeled answer that came through is actually there's no defined date. It's a bleed through of energy shifting more and more as other planets align. We are already feeling the effects though, just like with a full moon, 2 days either side, you start to feel the effects because this is a thousands of years span. You feel the effects in years. So it's already starting to feel the effects of the Age of Aquarius, and it's a bleed through of Pisces to Aquarius, and that's just how they put it. So it's no defined actual, right, everybody shifting, that sort of thing. I think it makes it easier too, because we start to realize, we've all got our own journeys that we're going on, and how we're actually handling the energies is also determined about, ourselves and what our, not only how we're feeling in the day-to-day operation of clearing unwanted past, but also our missions and all sorts of things come into account and come into the reasons why we shift when we shift, right? So don't get up yourself or down yourself, and there's no race like I'm the first, yay. It's not like that. Yes, there are people that have missions that need to be ignited before, and and previous years gone and even decades gone, there have been people that have been ignited into awakening and been caught in quite a difficult position their souls could handle, though, where the outside world was never going to match their own awakening, but they were here to instigate and help bleed through an awakening. So it's a very long process, that's saying, but the most important thing is right now. This is kind of like this bleed through of Aquarius. I'm talking about the whole shift overall with those others that were born. It was a lead up to this. Okay, let's get into the tarot and see what the tarot has to say about this reset of Age of Aquarius. Please, any messages that are going to come through for us to have a greater awareness of ourselves, an understanding of where we're going. What sort of messages do you want to share with the collective and a general reading with those who are watching? We've got a couple of cards that have fallen out. We have the Hermit that's come out. So finding that light within oneself is really important at the moment. They're also bringing me to moments in your life where you're like waiting, or you're standing aside. You've got that. They're showing me, what was that movie called? The Wonder Emporium. It's a very long title. And there was a guy that owned a shop that was very magical. But if you were blocked to that magic, you would never see it. And he was asked at one time, I think they were waiting for something. And the lady that was next to him was like, oh, no, we're just going to wait. And he goes, no, we're not just going to wait. We're going to use our imagination to visualize all this awesome stuff. And this is what this Hermit energy is giving me, this feeling of you know, there's moments in your life where, I don't know, what, maybe you're waiting for traffic, maybe you're waiting for somebody to do something, and instead of just getting miserable and down about it, angry about it, this is an opportunity for you to learn to use your imagination for the benefit of where do you actually want to go. Okay, I've got a moment here where I can actually go within myself, be the hermit of myself, and find that light and spark that imagination of what I want to use it for. So that's a really nice message right there. We have the Four of Cups, but it's in reverse. So it's almost like the hand of God is going to come with this energy that's coming in, that like the source energy. The energies that are favorable at the moment are those that are looking up and finding, like, she's looking down at these 3 cups that are full, and she's had enough, and you know, she's done quite well, but maybe she's emotionally filled, but she's now longing for something new to come along. And being in reverse, I'm really feeling like, hey, look up. There is something coming along. You don't know it yet, but there's some sort of gift coming in for those that are doing this work. Maybe the imagination is coming to light, like we're actually going to start to see with the bleed through of Aquarius, the bleed through of the gifts or the desires that we really want to come into our reality, showing up. But they're showing me it might not show exactly the same way as your imagination, because it's like like you're painting a picture in a physical world. And when you're painting a picture in a physical world, you might have something in your imagination that's absolutely amazing. Yes, there are those that can actually put that on paper, but more likely than not, you know, the paper itself has a certain texture, the paintbrush itself has a certain texture, the paints and how they're actually flowing, it's all comes in as a collaboration. So it's like the stories that you are creating within your imagination and asking them to come forth. We need to have this more of an openness of what's actually going to be coming in as physical, but it still is in alignment with the desire, because you're the creator. So yeah, interesting how they're putting that too. So we'll put these 2 aside over here. We'll carry on and see what our other messages are coming through to help us. Day to day, how can we handle and how can we get through this reset that's moving ahead for us? Know that justice is coming. So if somebody has done you wrong, and you have stood in your integrity, you've stood in the value of who you truly are, then justice is coming. You know, maybe it's not directly towards you from that person, but it will be for you in the end. You are leading. When you lead by your heart, you're as light as a feather. When you lead by trying to control outside of yourself, then that's when you're going to feel that big resistance coming your way. So just be aware of that. So justice card coming up is the measuring. Oh, they actually do have the feather here, light as a feather, and the heart, right? So you're measuring your heart against the feather, against the frequency of the energy fields, and moving with that. So it's funny, like they're showing me you coming from your heart, but you're now learning to feel your way through your life. And so justice will always prevail because you're learning to feel through your life. So you're always seeking the best opportunities for yourself through that feeling. You know, it feels a bit icky over here. Maybe that's not the way to go. Maybe you can show me a better way, because if I keep going down that road, it keeps feeling more and more resistance and icky or something like that. If I turn and go with what I'm feeling in my heart's desire, then I have to let go of that story and move into another story. So just be aware of the flow. We have to allow change to be prevalent at the moment, because of how we're getting unstuck from one identity of how reality works and opening up a whole new identity of how reality works. Okay, what else is coming up for us as we're moving forward through Age of Aquarius? Good to see everybody in the chat bar, by the way. Sky, Nicole, Liz, Sandy, Anae. Good to see you guys. Debbie. Okay. Hopefully this sounds a bit better. I took the mic off. I think I kind of have to hold that mic up close to myself. Not sure if it's going to work, but we'll have to play around with it because I can't take my big mic with me. I'm actually traveling for a bit. So I'm just using the computer. Hopefully this sounds great and I don't need anything. Sorry about the sound in the last one. Can't tell unless I try, right? Okay, so we now have this progression happening where we've got justice coming in. Look at this, the sun. So messages of this card though, they're also bringing through these new energies that are coming through the portal of the sun. As it's hitting the frequency of this reality, it's awakening us to a brighter future. But not only that, they're showing iridescent colors, stepping into a new earth through the empowerment of the stillness of the mind. Yeah, it's like new ideas coming our way, positive thinking, expansion. It's like a whole heap of different little messages coming through from each spark of the sun, and it's hitting each one of us in a different way. It's sparking specific consciousnesses within the value of each person that it's hitting. Don't be afraid of the sun, they're saying. Stargaze it, as the sun goes down and as the sun comes up. There's you can feel more of the resonance of the shifts of the frequencies coming from the sun that are happening in dawn and at dusk because of the alignments of the energy hitting the landscape. And it's like more it's like more, where if it's high up, it's just like hitting, they're showing me like little thin lines, but when it's at a landscape and coming towards you, because it's skimming across more of the Earth's surface, there's more connection, something to do with more connection and more awakening or more awareness of the actual frequencies that's coming towards us. So that's another good message that's coming through. Sun gaze at dusk and at dawn. They're also telling me you can get so sensitive that you can start to hear the choir of angels singing. They're bringing me to a moment in time where I went, okay, I want to focus all my attention into shifting into a different frequency. And I went into a meditation and I ended up in another reality. And in that reality, there was this big kind of like a opening that looked like a universe that I'd seen, or a photograph of it's kind of like a circle with a space inside of it. And when I stepped through, it was like another dimension that I'd walked into. But the interesting part that they want to bring up is when I was coming back to myself from that, I heard like a radio was on. No one else could hear it though. This choir singing, and it was a frequency that was shifting my pineal gland to be able to use the somatic patterns within the pineal gland to resonate with this other reality. So there's something to do with other realities or expansion of awareness coming in. So they're saying when you are on the planet and you meditate at dusk or dawn, you could get so sensitive. If you become that sensitive, you could literally hear the choir of angels singing, and they are aligning you with a higher vibrational meet that your soul wants to align to. And that's when a lot more information can come through. They said it might not be right then and there because the logical mind can come in and, unless you're in a really great state of awareness of the alpha state or theta state. If you're in that state through the meditation, yes, it will come through. Otherwise, you might have a recall in your dreams. So really interesting, powerful messages coming through the cards for the age of Aquarius and us aligning with it and the shifts and changes and what we can actually do. I really love this. This is beautiful and very powerful. I have felt within myself a massive shift as Pluto is sitting in that on that 0 point of Aquarius, and it's like a massive shift within myself. Actually, yesterday I might do a talk about it because it aligned me with something that I thought I could never unblock. And I might do another talk about that because it was very powerful for me. I had an awareness or understanding of where the blockage came from, and it wasn't completely what I thought it would be. And so it might help you guys or anyone else that's a star child or someone that's come from a higher dimension. And it could help those that don't as well. So, yeah, I might do a talk on that. Sorry, I digress. Let's get back into the tarot and the messages coming through for. They're really flowing out nicely too. Like I'm shuffling and it's going pop on. So this is really, really cool. Okay, we have a togetherness here. A Four of Wands has come out, a unification of humanity. The green and the red, opposite colors, so to speak, in the spectrum. And so those that we're starting to see the value of things that we thought were in line with us were actually a mirror to us. And now unification can come in where we're starting to learn to work together and not worry about things so much. Not worry about who's right and who's wrong. That's the sort of thing that's leaving us. We can have much more fun, a lot more fun with that. That song, Dancing in the Dark, is coming in my head. Dances in the dark. And I think that dark is like the unknown aspect of our feminine side that wants to expand and there's kind of an unknown quantity to that, where the dark is representing the unknownness as we're moving through. But if we dance through it, and they're bringing me to a dream that I had where I met Mother Earth as a being, and she was telling me in the future, just let go of all of the worries. Don't worry about how Earth is handling things. She's got that. Just be concerned with you dancing through this. So interesting, they're bringing up dancing as well. Could be another thing that's going to help us align, because it's freeing us up and our bodies up as well as our minds up. We're starting to focus more in on alignments with the energetic field of the sun, the energetic shifts and changes. Like both of these are kind of dancing. It's really cool, actually. You're learning to dance with each other, flow in and out of each other's lives. Don't hold on to anything or grasp or try to project the future. Just dance with the energies available to you in the moment to moment as you move along. It's going to make it a lot easier as you transition through these times. And a lot of messages or something's coming through my phone while I'm saying all of that as well. So definitely messages coming towards us as we start to let go of the worry and more relax into this. And we'll start to get messages of where we need to be, the location we need to be, who we need to be with, how to feel, whether we just rest and start to connect with Earth and the physical body more, or whether we need to connect with our etheric friends and so forth. You will have personal messages for yourself coming through. And they're bringing up on the sun too. They've got these, I think these are astrology signs that are around the sun. See how it's affecting each astrology sign in a different way. They're also bringing up the acknowledgement of the 13th sign, 13 moons, coming into resonance with the nature of things, no longer a projected calendar that was forced upon us, going back to the original nature of times and divine timing is going to start syncing up with us as well. Sorry about the messages coming through my phone. messages coming in. Okay. Any more messages through the tarot, please? Yes. Wow, it's just this progression. Okay, that just as I said that. So we've got this progression of Hermit, Four of Cups, Justice, Sun, Four of Wands, Three. Wow, like these cards are very much progressing into creating a new earth. And the Empress is the next. So the divine spark within you is now standing proud, right? But they're also showing me with her energy coming through as very nurturing. Imagine if she starts to nurture the masculine side. So that was one of the messages that came through with me yesterday. Now I'm going to go more, I think I'll go more into depth with that later on, but it's coming up in this reading as well. The nurturing aspect of the feminine side, learning to nurture the masculine side, or the physical world, is starting to come in play. She's holding two things here. She is landing because she has this, I don't know what this is called. I know there's a specific name for this. I'm just going to call it a staff at the moment, but I know with the ball on top it's called something specific. And she's holding this lotus leaf, which is, grown from the mud, and also giving us the flower of it. If you actually take lotus, it will. They used to take lotus as a potion and give it to the dancers in Egypt, and they would go off into other worlds and imaginings and help the kings of Egypt connect, or the masculine energies connect, or ground more of the etheric world and the beauty of that into their day-to-day life. So really interesting messages coming up through this as well, connecting to the water as well, the flow of life. Just like when a female gives birth, there's a flow of energy that comes through. We're birthed from water, and that flow has to happen. That's really interesting. The peace stuff coming in as well, so peace of mind with that one as well. But also, as I was going, there's a progression going up towards more and more and more power. The Nine of Swords flew out on its side. So this is something that we have to use to our advantage. So the Nine of Swords is a card of interruption, or how we wake up in the middle of the night and our logical mind starts to imagine the worst, or think of things that, oh my God, I don't know where I'm actually going, and all this sort of stuff, or what happens if that person says that, or what happens if I never get what I deserve, that sort of thing. It's just a mind taking over and giving you all that. And then the anxiety starts to kick in, right? But the reason why this is happening is because it's showing up really bling, 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 like a light pulsating at you, going, you're not seeing your true power. You're not seeing your true power. If you were in your true power, this would have no power. So through the energy alignments of Aquarius, as it comes up, as these tormenting mind thoughts start to happen with you, use them, turn them around, and use them to your advantage. There's actually lessons within there of where you are disempowered, or where you are in lack of. It's literally how I shifted something yesterday in a great way. I'm like, I have to get to the core essence of why I keep feeling this, and why I seem to shift it in days, and then all of a sudden my mind starts to play up in another day, and then I go back, and it just keeps going in these waves, because I haven't actually found the key resonance of my lack, or my lack of power. And what happens is your soul knows it, right? But your logical mind is not comprehending it. So sometimes we will create a story to comprehend it. We will create something that the logical mind will go ding, ding, ding. Oh, I get it now. And once the logical mind gets it, it won't keep replaying those lack of stories. So yeah, that's really cool. Let's get some oracle cards coming out. Hey Liz, good to see you in the chat bar as well. And Robin, good to see everyone. Celtic. Okay. I really feel like, you know, there's this collective, because I get a lot of people that are returners, and it feels like our energy together. This is our energy together that helps everything, right? And it's just something to do with that unification of who we are coming together. It's really interesting. Okay. Let's get into the oracle cards. Any messages for the age of Aquarius, please? And lessons, anything that we need to know for these times to help us into this new frequency. Power of oneself in the dark. That Dances of the Dark keeps coming up in my head. Dances in the dark. And then it's the power of that. The power of that. It's kind of like I'm seeing like all these masculine energies looking, and they're like in the light, and they've got the limelight on them, and they're being in charge and all that, and they're like standing around. But then this darkness comes over, which is an unknown aspect of humanity that hasn't felt into that so much. And then there's those of us that have learnt to use it to our advantage, or learnt to be the power of that. And as we dance in it, we are enlightening those that thought they knew it all. It's really interesting. Okay. Any more messages that are coming through, please, for the age of Aquarius? Now, that song was, the actual song, Age of Aquarius, was channeled through from, they are saying, the Pleiadians, and it was a channeled song to help us remember a certain frequency that of alignment of that energy field when the Pleiadians worked very closely with us, and Atlantis Lemuria is bringing up that frequency. Good time to listen to it now. So that's cool too. You might want to go revisit that song or meditate with that song. The Age of Aquarius, Age of Aquarius. And they said they wanted it up. They wanted it in a dance kind of a feel, because they wanted us to dance through this energy. Oh, so interesting. Sorry, I'm getting this. It's almost like there's awareness or knowing is like so powerful over me. My soul was just like, yay. But I'm feeling it in my heart. Okay, let's carry on. This is my forte, though. This is my forte. Okay, here we go. No messages are coming through this pack, and I feel like there's something hidden in here that wants to come through. Okay, here we go. We have prophets and ancient seers, decisions, predictive guidance. Okay, so this is also the timing where awakening is going to happen of those that held the codes of the witches and the wizards and all of that sort of stuff, and they had more of an understanding of connection to the magic of Earth, the frequency alignments of that, the magic. And so there's this awakening of them coming through. They're going to see a lot, they're going to feel or understand a lot more about their soul's lineage and themselves through these moments, through these next so many years. They're saying they're giving me the number 8 years at the moment. And they're also saying 22. So I don't know if it's in 22 years or 8 to 22 years. Okay. It's interesting now, numbers are starting to come forth. I never used to do that. So we've got... they're showing me like a understanding of the frequencies where a predictive seeing can be seen of specific souls that will make it easier for you to align with the right ones from now. See how when you expand and you start to become more aware of your own magic and that, then you end up having, sorry, I see a big crow on my roof. That's a sign and a half for me, especially when it comes to the witches and wizards and energy. So in any case, so she's, or that energy within us, is understanding within us, is awakening, so that when we start to be able to predict certain, it's kind of like if an energy comes towards you, a person comes towards you, you can predict where that's going to go because you're already in the flow. Now, if you already see that it's going to come to a dead end, or so you now get yourself out of the maze. So there's a maze that humanity has been caught into, and they keep going around in circles because they were only coming from their lineal mind and logical mind, only seeing the outside reality as worthy of listening to. But when we start to expand from our awareness of our feelings and everything, we start to awaken these magical things within us, or this magic within us, and we start to align with the frequency of prediction. And prediction will go, yes, this one is the right, this feels right, this story, I love this story, I love how this story is unfolding, I'm moving towards there. And oh, I don't like how this story is unfolding, okay, I do need to shift. So it gives you an indication that you're moving through. In this age of Aquarius, we're learning to move in through feelings more, but predictive guidance. And you can be the guides of others that still don't have that ability. We all actually have, all gifts are present for everyone in the eyes of source energy. All gifts are present for everyone because we are source energy within us, but our soul's lineage has taken us on specific paths, and those are awakening. That understanding is awakening first. So because we are used to it in past lives, so there's a familiarity about it, and so we can then awaken it easier. And those things are going to be awoken first as we progress in the age of Aquarius. Okay, let's get the Pleiadian cards. Yeah, Celtic. Crows do messages from those that have passed as well. They are crows are to do with it. They can go in between. They come in dreams when they want to give messages from ancestors as well. So really interesting that the prophets and the ancient seers, right, are coming up. And here's this crow right there, right in front of me. It's a really big, beautiful one too. Okay, here we go. Pleiadian cards. Is there any messages for the age of Aquarius? There's a return of so much more than you could even imagine right now. There's a return of so much more than you could imagine. And the reason why is because we're still getting used to our imagination as well. But there is so much more hidden gems coming our way. We have two cards that have fallen out. The Fallen Star. Now, the Fallen Star it says shame. I no longer hide my face. I step into the light with love. They're also bringing me to the those that were angelic that fell into losing themselves. They are going to see the reason why this will happen. You're going to see or understand the reason why you fell. And so with the shift, as we progress into the age of Aquarius, we start to understand, oh, I now know. And it's not something that can always be told to you. Like I can tell you these messages, but when you feel it, that's when you really can let go, because you go, it's like oh my God, this is profoundly a message for me. And so with that, you get this clearance and you'll feel the clearance. I literally had that yesterday where I felt the clearance, and so then you can rise knowing that you know how to handle if that energy comes up again in your logical mind, or that story comes up again in your logical mind of worrying about it. You're like, yeah, but I know why that happened now, so I don't need to worry about it anymore, because it was something to do with me learning a value about myself, and I don't need to keep that going anymore because I've learned it. The lesson, literally, the understanding of you literally drops the lesson, or drops the problem. So there's a lot of that happening as we're going along, and with these new energies coming towards us. We also have Maya, the winged messenger, creation, spiritual direction, inspires my creative flow. So there's going to be quite a few of us that are coming forth now with greater awarenesses and understandings of the energies coming, because we are positioned specifically. Our souls have gone on a specific journey to be really entangled with that, understanding that energy that is coming our way from the sun and the solar central galaxy, and we know it very well, so we can actually ride it really a lot easier than those that have done life after life as a human, stuck in that. They're showing me that maze that they're just stuck in, and so as we progress, there could be somebody that comes into, if you are in alignment with your true essence of your value, and you've been one that's a human, or someone, even someone of like the witches or something like that, or wizards or whatever, holding codes, been, really had a hard time through all of this, and I take my hat off to all of them, absolutely 100%. But as you awaken to knowing your true value of yourself, and knowing that you're coming from your heart, you might end up coming into alignment with a winged messenger, or somebody who has this even greater understanding of the energies that were forgotten by you because of the journey that your soul took. No one is more in value than another. Please, that is a logical way of thinking. This is all a story being woven by everyone together, and it's a collaboration. I'm literally feeling goosebumps here through me. So it's understanding that we're all needed, whether you're very logical based and very masculine based, or whether you're very feminine based, you're magical, or whether you're straight from the stars, or you've had a life after life as a human, or whatever. If you've come from the animals, if you've come from the elementals, if you've come from another planet, doesn't make any difference. It's a story that's been woven, and it's the whole story. If you see it through the eyes of source energy, it is absolutely divinely beautiful. It is absolutely an incredible creation, and I can feel this proudness of everyone that starts to flow with this story and has a better understanding of it. They will start to flow. When they flow with it, they will see through the eyes of source energy of how proud they are of the creation that has been created through this, and no more putting down or dismissing people or making ourselves feel guilty or any of that. It just washes away. There's a huge collaboration that happens, and it is all of us together in this beautiful. They show me a quilt that's been quilted, and some all different colors are needed for that. And so then when we lift into that higher frequency, we can now communicate with each other with true essence of value of self. And so there is no lack of within that energy field anymore. And then we go on our true adventure, they say. Like, we think that the adventure is, we're like being entangled with all the mess and all of the and the lack of. The true adventure starts when we collaborate and connect, because the imagination is free to create something really beautiful in alignment with what already is as well. Mother Earth herself as well, and she will start to I'm seeing her starting to spark a whole new light, like lights coming off her, and of different frequencies, iridescent, of values that were hidden, secrets that were hidden, gems that were hidden. And they weren't actually hidden, it was the blockages of the unbalanced mind that kept it from us. And that's the only reason why it was hidden. So the more clarity that humanity reaches into, the more that this expansion starts to grow, an understanding of how to work with Mother Earth in higher frequencies, the true value of the solid, of even crystals are coming up a lot in my head at the moment, the true value and essence of crystals, because they can be placed in specific places that will gift us higher resonance of other worldly places and all sorts, and messages that are, there's something to do with color vibration, and something to do with the vibration of crystals being placed in specific place. We wouldn't have known to put those crystals in that specific area, or to be able to create even more. There's something to do with that whirling up. Okay. Yeah, I'm really feeling that reset happening through these channel messages at the moment to help guide you guys as well. Thanks, Celtic, for reminding to join AMAKEL's school, Patreon school. AMAKEL means learning via the intuition in Pleiadian language, and it's AMAKEL, a new reality school, is a Patreon school. If you can just join for free, and there's a few free ones there already, just games and stuff, or you can. Yeah, I looked into changing the tiers and all of that sort of thing to try to merge it, and it just didn't work. So I'm like, okay, we just got to leave it. We'll leave it as it is. So there's this ruby tier and a silver tier. Ruby tier is just all the games. So you have, I'm just pouring through all these intuitive games that you can, some of them are really beautiful. Some of them you go into elemental worlds. Some of them you go into outer space. Some of them are just like dice and coins and stuff, all intuitive games. And then there's lessons for the silver tier. So you do the game, you get the games and the lessons. Yeah, and I will be doing some more lessons and focusing more on that soon. It's I'll see if I can pull another one through for, because they're quite a lot of information in the lessons before I move. Sorry. Okay, let's get back into the energies, please, of Aquarius, so that we can align ourselves with other energy messages coming through to help us guide us through these new energies. There are also other songs as well. Who are true. Spandu Ballet, they were connected to the Pleiadians. That's really interesting. There's like different, different bands that were actually channeling through Pleiadian music, and they're bringing up Pleiadians a lot through the age of Aquarius, because they are one of the first ones or energy fields that want to connect with humanity. It's going to be an expansive thing. It's going to go out into vast known aspects, because there's actually quite a few being born at present that have come straight from all different types of walks of life. They wanted to be present here, and Earth invited them, right? So they wouldn't be born unless Earth could invite or resonate with that frequency, or want that frequency to be enveloped into the humanity's consciousness, so that humanity could grow even further. So all of those are going to come out as well. We have Tayageta, the storyteller. Intention, I am the narrative of my life, narrator of my life. So this card is bringing up the whole, remember when I was talking about at the beginning, the imagination and using it to your advantage when you have a space or you're waiting for something. This is bringing out storytelling, but also they're bringing up the fairy tales as well and new understandings of those. They're bringing up ancient stories, Egyptian stories, Syrian stories. It's talking about Syrian stories, bringing up a lot of stories that were seen as not the true value of what they were. The true value of things is going to come to light. That's why they're talking about the true value of crystals. You know, we're not just seeing things in a physical sense anymore. We're seeing things through the value of the energy field and resonance and how it affects us. And it makes a big difference when a soul comes into alignment with an actual talisman or object that they find that they had already had a past soul's connection with, soul's life connection with. So it's all of this is going to come forth. This is why storytelling is really important, because it's going to awaken many. A lot of the stories that were seen as untrue, because they were held in the imagination of the storyteller, but the imagination also holds key resonance to souls' past lives. Some of those stories have, I'm not saying all of them, but some of the stories that you will feel this when you read them, and maybe they are seen, you know, being, you know, the book you get is actually saying, what is it? It's fiction. When you read it, if you get a tingling sensation, a body reaction, oh my God, then there is an essence of truth within that. So we start to feel more into the truth rather than what somebody else tells us is the truth. We're starting to feel into the truth. This is going to change up the dynamics of how we even allocate those who are guiding us, because we will feel their truth, the truth of what they're speaking about is coming from a true value of their heart and their soul's lineage, rather than them saying, yes, I'm telling the truth, but really I'm thinking something completely different. That is going to be non-void because of us getting in touch with our feelings more through this. So storytelling will have a whole new way of looking at things. And when we bring up those stories again, whether it be fairy tales or ancient stories from the past, or a story that somebody just wrote, or even, you know, like Harry Potter, the bringing up Lord of the Rings, there is a certain true value. And I think this is why, and even Avatar, there's a certain true value that humanity can resonate with, because some of us, our souls have actually connected with that life or similar life, not maybe specifically exactly the same, but similar, where it's awakening part of our true value of ourselves. They're reminding me when I was 19 and I didn't know any of this sort of stuff. I didn't know who I was. I was contacted when I was 11 by the Pleiadians, and the UFO experience and all sorts of things did happen to me. I had some crazy events happen, but I was just like going along with the normal status quo of, you know, my logical mind and learning about the true value of this physical world only, and it really didn't merge with it at all. But I remember being in this home and having these flashbacks of memories of pillars, white pillars in a home that I lived in, and butting up of the ocean to my veranda, and the dolphins coming in, and they were part of the family. I felt it. I could feel it. It wasn't just a memory. There was a feeling, a remembrance, a memory, feeling-based memory with it. It felt so good, by the way. And that was Pleiadians that I was tapping into. And then I later on met a Cherokee elder many decades later who picked me out of a crowd, who was sent by her elders to find specific people. And those specific people were Pleiadians. So she was one of the elders that was connected to Pleiades, strongly connected to Pleiades. And she was sent, you know, to go around the world and find us. So she called us white buffalo hearts. Anyway, so really interesting. And I had a lot of synchronicities that led me to her as well. And just picking up the Osho cards, we'll go into the Osho cards a bit. Before I close up this general reading, just to give any sort of messages, please, any more messages. Yeah, I felt like something wanted to come out. Aloneness in reverse. Oh, OMG, OMG. Okay, so you might find yourself alone or something, but use this time to reconnect to or get used to the new you. It's in reverse, so it's not like affecting you as it did before. And there'll be a space, there could be a space coming up in your vortex or your life that just gives you respite, whether it be for a few days or whatever. You know, if you've got a family, understandable, it could be a few hours, but there's going to be some sort of respite. It could be a few months, depending on what your soul's needing to be able to connect again to the true essence of who you are. To use this alone time to go, and this is also so interesting that this is the last card, right? Because in the Osho card deck, this is representing the Hermit. And what was the very first card that we got? The Hermit. Oh my gosh. So we're opening and closing with the Hermit here. There is a specific value that you're going to find within yourself. And you're not going to see alone time as alone anymore. Alone time is going to be like, it's not going to be, you know, I have no one. It's going to be like, oh my God, I am now learning to connect with so much more. I am vastly connecting with my feelings of myself so much that everything becomes me. The outside world is me and I am it. There's this expansion of awareness that's happening. You are the light that's going to be moving and guiding others. So a lot of people that are watching me are going to be those forerunners of others. And I really, truly believe that because of the resonance of who I am and what I'm breaking into, it will normally magnetize others to come through as well and be part of this. Yeah. And I'm often finding that the one-on-one readings that I'm getting, the link is down below, by the way, if you do want a one-on-one reading, but I'm often finding those one-on-one readings are people that are either teaching me a lesson or totally in resonance with this whole, like our souls have sort of a connection. They're showing me string theory. I don't know what string theory, I don't know anything about string theory, but a string theory is something where one will resonate and then others will resonate. I don't know anything about that, so I hope that I get that right, but that's what they're showing me. Okay, guys, so as I get this one, I think I know we closed up with the tarot and oracle cards, but I do feel to pull one animal card. I think the animals want one message. Before I open up, let's open up the reading. Here we are. That just flew out really quickly. For free chat bar readings for anyone that's in the chat bar. Okay, hummingbird, miracles. See, you're going to be blessed. Remember, a miracle is just not as a story that skipped a lot of points that your logical mind would normally go through to make something happen in your awareness. A miracle is something that just appears before you, right? Hummingbird, miracles. You are the joy bringer. You bless the world with positivity and love. Energy soars on your shining wings, spread the miracle of happiness. But I'm also feeling like miracles will start to show up for those that are flowing with this. And remember, there's a lot of changes and chops and changes. Just go with it, through expansion of the age of Aquarius. Yeah, you'll start to see things just work for you, for the benefit of you. Okay, guys. Let's close this general reading up. Thank you very much for being part of this general reading. If you're leaving me here now, if you are staying on for the free chat bar readings, then there might be a message in it for you. Okay. Okay, tarot. Here we go. Okay, John, JM, best name I saw. John. I think you were the first one to say hi too, so that's perfect. Okay, you have the Emperor coming up, so there's a strong, I'm feeling like a power that's coming in for you, but it's kind of like daunting. I'm feeling a vulnerability of the power, but you are moving towards more empowerment. Might feel a little bit, I know this has happened with me as well. When I step up, I feel vulnerable. This is the feeling I'm getting from you, but it's actually towards more empowerment. So you're learning to ground something into the physical. It can become more stronger within yourself, in your physical self. And so you might have the odd lesson coming towards you that is asking you to step up. And through that transition, I would, and I have done personally, go back into the power of feeling yourself with the power of the Emperor, feeling that you are that powerful person. Now, what would that powerful person, how would that powerful person react? They would let go of the mind crap. They would trust in what they say and what they do and how they act. They would move through life with integrity. They would trust the process. There's something to do with that, standing within your supportive power of who you are. That's coming through for you, John, at the moment. So, yeah. Okay. Hey, Sarah Kay. Hey, beautiful, you too. Tama. Oh, I felt like one wanted to come out then, but it went back in. We'll try again. Yeah, there we go. We have two that's flown out together. So I will read them together. We have the High Priestess, Tama, and we have Temperance. So you're learning very much so to come into balance with yourself so that you can ignite this High Priestess. Sometimes, though, when something comes up like this is where you're going. You're learning how to handle hot and cold, different things at the moment to bring you into more empowerment as well. Well, look at these cards, like the Emperor, the High Priestess. I mean, come on, guys. You guys are powering it up. This transition is helping you guys power it up and come into full cycle. I'm also feeling from this card that they're asking you to connect more with your spirit guides. There's the Seer Prophecy card is coming up. That was in the main general reading for you. But balance is absolutely needed through this. And balance means when something comes up, it's acceptance of it and just going, you know what, if I either move towards it or I move away from. I'm the one that's balancing myself. I'm no longer allowing the outside world to balance me. I'm balancing myself. And I'm moving as I want to. I'm free to move and change my mind and figure things out as I go. Something to do with that. And this will ignite this key within you. And they're showing me prophecy, seeing, Akashic records, ignitions, igniting you into more. Yeah. Okay, I'll leave it there. Justin Scoff. Justin, oh, yours fell on the ground, Justin. Hang on. Okay, be careful you're not chucking this away. You have the power within you to become the magician. They're talking, and it's so interesting because I know you, I've had a few readings with you, but they are bringing up the mathematician with the magician. It's kind of like the same sort of thing. It's so interesting. The magician has all the answers in one sentence and one equation. The answers are there, but it's also coming back into the power of who you are. When you integrate these answers that you are seeking outside of yourself with your inner core essence of who you are, the magician becomes you. You become the walking equation. Ooh, so interesting what's happening with that. Okay, that was interesting. Okay, sky. Right. We have a few cards that fell out. We have the Seven of Swords, but it was in reverse actually, but I'm pulling it up as so there's opportunities coming up for you next to the Three of Wands, and it was in reverse. So it's you're no longer like you've been waiting for some ship to come in, an adventure to happen, something new to be sparked. There's something moving here. Seven of Wands over here. There might be a blockage that you are still moving through to awaken all of this new adventure. A blockage because of the Seven of Wands is someone who holds up something, holds up the wands to defend themselves just in case I have to get all these ducks in a row, just in case I have to make sure this is all happening, just in case. They're asking you to put the just in case aside and trust in your feelings from moment to moment. And more opportunities will flow your way. Then you will see more because you're now taking the logic out of the equation and trusting. Something to do with that for you. Okay. Right. John, thank you so much. The message resonates. Big love from New Zealand. I'm going to go to New Zealand and see my parents next year. Yay! My hometown. Actually, not my hometown because they've moved, but close enough. Okay. Who else have we got? Sarah K. Yes, Sarah K. I only went because I was seeking to see if you said yes, please, or if you're just saying hey. Sarah K. Sarah K. Sarah K. Okay, this one just jumped out. We have death and rebirth. Death and rebirth. Death and reverse. But obviously death and rebirth is coming up for you because I wouldn't have said it otherwise. The falling away of something to make room for something else is a definite, and it could be a mindset, but also in the physical world as well for you. They're showing me the sword, which is to do with the mind, but they're also showing me a physical sword. So something within you is shifting, and that means that the outer world is starting to shift. Let it fall, because there's some new beginning coming for you. They're showing me the silver flower in the middle of the sword, and they're showing me the lotus leaf. So out of the mud comes the magic, etherical understanding of oneself. The reason why you are who you are, the acceptance of oneself more than what you have been before in the past is now available for you. Yeah, so that's your message. Celtic. 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 And we have the Hierophant has come up for you. So a shifting of contracts or something that might be, it's like something outside of you might be navigating through something, but it's actually in reflection to your mind navigating through something. So I'm feeling like you're wanting to make your life a lot more stable, and through that there has to be a shift within stability of one's mind for it to show up outside of you. Okay, so that's the message I got for you. Okay. You're very welcome, Sarah. She said that's amazing. That info on Spandu Ballet song is so awesome. By the way, yeah, there are specific. I might see if I can tap into some more bands and stuff that come from, channeling Pleiadian energy, because that's, I think I could do that. So, so good, guys. I love you so much. Spot on, Celtic. Oh, that's You're very welcome. I'm so happy to be able to help as many people as I can. And until next time, I think I'm definitely going to do a message on the information that I got about my own self-growth, because I think that's going to help a lot of people. And I think that, you know, I could easily be vulnerable enough to share with you something. So I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty of everything, but enough for me to explain the lesson. Anyway, love you guys heaps. Until next time. Bye.